Hey everyone, it's Justine from the Red Nation and Red Media. We wish everyone listening happy holidays and a happy new year. This year, the Red Nation has done a whole lot of things. We began January with our annual No Dead Natives mutual aid campaign and joined the National Rise Up for Peltier campaign that took us into February. In February, Miss Sidewinders 22, KDK Bouvier, hosted a charity drag show for us called Stronger Together. In March, we regrouped with Albuquerque's anti-war coalition to host the panel No War, No Imperialism, Russia, NATO, and Ukraine. Comrades hosted the Greater Chaco Relay Run, where runners ran over 100 miles through the Navajo Nation and Greater Chaco for prayer for land and water. In April, Kylie and I traveled to New York City to present on the Red Deal for the Cooper Union Native American Association. We co-hosted book events for the release of An Enemy Such as This by David Correa, and at the end of the month, we gathered for our General Assembly where we updated our point program to our 6-point program. On May 1st, Comrade Cheyenne attended the International Workers' Day / May Day parade in Havana, Cuba on her delegation to Cuba. The work between May and June centered on the New Mexico wildfires, the threats in the U.S. Supreme Court against access to abortion, and the Shut Down Red Hill campaign in Oahu. In July, we were collaborating with the Oahu Water Protectors on an anti-imperialism panel on the 4th of July, and later that month, eight of us were invited to the island of Oahu to assist Oahu Water Protectors with the Shut Down Red Hill campaign. Look forward to our debrief this upcoming January. July is also when Kyan and I filmed the documentary Native Nation Voices of Survival with Al Jazeera Blackleaf Films, where they followed us and as we collected our podcast tour content. We spent the first week of August in Oahu connecting with Kanaka Male and other organizers in Oahu, and we ended the month in Minneapolis at the beginning of the Leonard Peltier's Walk to Justice with American Indian Movement. In September, we assisted Honor Our Pueblo Existence and Tewa Women United's initiative to oppose the Los Alamos National Lab's plan to expand and increase plutonium pit production, and we kicked off the media work around Leonard Peltier into high gear. In October, we hosted our annual Indigenous Peoples Day March and Rally in Tewa Territory. We hosted a panel called The Triangle of Life with Daniel Flores, Patuch Gilbert, and Marius Chino, a conversation that leads us into the Indigenous Congress for Decolonization this upcoming January. In November, we went on a delegation to Washington, D.C. to assist the end of the Leonard Peltier's Walk to Justice, where we walked the final mile and rallied with American Indian Movement organizers for clemency for Leonard Peltier. We stayed on the East Coast, and a few of us went to the National Day of Mourning and spoke on what is known as Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Right now in December, we just hosted a Language as Sovereignty panel, and we're closing the year with the release of the Red Nation Podcast Tour 2022. Right now, you can watch episode 1 and 2 and bonus episodes on the Red Media Patreon. On the Red Media side, we have released a whole bunch of content on the Red Nation podcast. We began a new podcast series called Red Surgents. We hosted book events. We assisted with the Red Nation podcast tour. We made a contribution to Indian Collective's Land Back magazine. And we grew our team with new board members and new hires. I'll be sure to make a formal announcement this upcoming January. And by the way, our affiliate organization, Oak Lake Writers Society, updated their name to the Oceti-Sakowin Writers Society. And finally, January 2nd, 2023 will be the deadline to apply for our 2023 Native Liberation School, where we will be teaching a curriculum of the traditions of Indigenous liberation in Turtle Island, Indigenous internationalism, decolonization, queer feminist politics, abolition, and socialist politics. Please apply. Find it in our link trees for Red Nation and Red Media. And finally, I just want to, if you love the work that we've done this year, if you've been watching us throughout this year and want to support us, there are a couple ways that you can support the Red Nation and Red Media. On the Red Nation side, you can make a one-time donation to the Red Media PayPal. The specific link to do this is in our bio. And on the Red Media side, if you want to support us, you can also make a one-time donation, but you can also sustain our media work through the Red Media Patreon. It's actually Red Media who produces the majority of the media for the Red Nation, because we have to hire people, pay people to take the time to produce our content. And that's people like myself, Kyan, Sina, Kylie, and others. We hope you can support both sides of our work this upcoming year. And in return, you'll get access to bonus episodes of the Red Nation podcast and also bonus content from the Red Nation podcast tour 2022. Other than that, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for being with us this year. Thank you so much for your solidarity. We'll see you in 23.